So hey guys, so welcome to another video, and today I need your help because I've had this idea bubbling in my brains for about 6 months now about a feature that I would personally like to see in Warframe, and I've been constantly expanding on this idea and I've tried to refine it as much as I could so it fits into Warframe both lore-wise and also gameplay-wise. And I'm fairly happy with how the idea is coming along, but before I do anything more with it, I'm gonna run it by you guys because, you know, it's just an idea and you know how ideas work. Something that sounds really cool to me may literally sound like the dumbest thing ever thought of to everyone else. So the idea is to bring back void keys. Now, before the portion of you that really enjoyed the old void system goes, hell yeah, and the other half of you that enjoys the relic system more goes, hell no, they're not gonna work the same. These new void keys are going to be extremely rare and they're only going to be obtainable in 2 different ways. So they will very rarely spawn in the parkour rooms, in the void, and every now and then when you're doing a fissure mission, Corrupted Vor is going to sneak through the fissure, and if you manage to defeat him, he will drop his void key. Now these void keys will still be used to unlock a void tower, but instead of it being a singular mission where you just capture a target and you sort of to the extraction, it will be an infinite set of missions that you can go through. So it will be very similar to bottomless dungeons that you see in hack and slash RPGs. You can go in with any group size you want, so you can go in solo, you can go with 2 people, 3 people, or even with a full party, and only 1 person needs a void key since they're very rare. And the idea here is that each mission is a different floor of the tower, so you're either climbing up or down, doesn't really matter. Now the way this would work is you unlock the tower with the void key, and this will generate the first mission, which will always be random. So it can be exterminate, capture, sabotage, it doesn't matter. And I think a good level to start with would be level 50. Now I also want to mention that I don't want the enemies to scale ridiculously fast, so I don't want them to be level 150 on mission 3, okay? But I digress. You've used the void key to unlock the tower and you finished your first mission. Now you get a reward and a choice. You can either leave with your reward and everything you've picked up, or you can choose one of 2 missions. And this is very important. You will always be able to choose between 2 different missions at the end, and they will never be the same mission type, okay? But here's the catch. If you decide to go forward and do another mission, you will lose everything if you fail. Even the stuff you got in the first mission. And I can already hear people shouting, oh, what about bad internet connections and servers dying and host migration? Well, that's just something you will have to deal with. It happens once in every 100 runs, and yes, it sucks, but, you know, there is really not much you can do. And it's kind of all the basic stuff done. You either do a fissure mission and you get a void key from Corrupted Vor, or you find it in the void in one of the parkour rooms. You then use this void key to unlock a tower, and you climb either up or down the tower, collecting rewards as you go. Now, to spice it up a little bit, because the enemies aren't scaling incredibly fast and we only have a limited amount of mission types to go through before we start repeating them, we're gonna introduce modifiers to the mission, and these could be either nightmare modifiers or sortie modifiers or both, so you could get something like energy drain, low gravity, no shields, or even eczema stronghold. However, we also have to understand that it would suck royally if you go in there with a group that relies on energy and you suddenly get an energy drain modifier, which would basically just end your run right there. So instead of screwing people over by applying a random modifier once they load into a mission, we're gonna make it so that once you finish your 3rd or 5th mission, doesn't really matter how many you do, each mission you can choose at the end will have a different modifier. So you have to choose one of them, but this presents a dilemma. Maybe the mission you don't really want to do with your setup has a better modifier than the one you do want to do, which has something terrible. So which one do you do? Or, of course, you can always just look at them and go, nah, and extract instead. And of course, you will eventually end up in a mission that you really don't want to do, or you will end up with a modifier that really hurts your group, so you will eventually hit a stopping point and you will have to extract, otherwise you just lose. And I have literally no idea how people would react to this and how they would approach this system, whether they would just go in solo and try to do 1 or 2 missions, or going with the puppy group with the idea of, okay guys, we're doing 5 missions and out, or if people would make pre-made groups and try to get as far as they can. I think it would also be cool to have some random events happen while you're going through the mission, something unannounced that just happens and you have to deal with it. But, you know, I haven't thought about that too much. I tried to focus on the basic stuff and trying to refine the idea as much as I could so that, as I've said already, it fits in lore-wise and gameplay-wise. Now, I do have few more ideas here, but they are unfortunately behind the language barrier because I really don't know how to explain them very well in English. But I hope I've explained enough of the idea so you can kind of imagine what it would be like, and you can give me some feedback, which would be very much appreciated, by the way. And I think I've been blabbering for long enough, so I thank you very much for watching as always, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.